Hi and welcome to another episode of Richard and Paul Cook. Yeah, and we're staying on the theme of quick, easy things for summer. And today we're doing coronation beans, which is something that we have quite regularly. It's very versatile because it can be served with salads, rice, on a sandwich, in a wrap. Yeah, but let's have a little chat about it first. Now, it's based on Coronation Chicken.
It is.
Isn't it?
It
Did you
is.
have Coronation Chicken when you were kids?
Regularly.
Yeah.
Regularly. And Coronation Turkey at Christmas, or Christmas, New Year we'd have as well. Yeah.
So Coronation Chicken was very, very popular for many, many years. I'm not sure how popular it is now. I mean, I think you can still buy sandwiches.
Yeah, I mean, in the London sandwich shops when I first came to London, it was a staple. It was, always there. Don't know now. I think there is a version still in Pret-a-Manger, I think.
And
but
perhaps
yeah,
Marks
don't
and
really know.
Spencer's probably still do a version, I would have thought,
Possibly,
if it
yeah.
still sells. Because like we say, it was very popular when we were kids.
Yeah, I think the 70s it was really popular. It was the 25th anniversary. What's it? Coronation anniversary.
It was a Silver Jubilee
Silver
in
Jubilee.
77.
So I think it was really, really popular. And I know when I was working at the Old Government House Hotel with Mum and, we were going there, it was always a staple on a buffet.
Well, there was always a relative making it at a party.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I think I've seen it used as a vol au vent.
Absolutely, yeah.
Filling.
Yeah, cold.
Yeah, it's served cold. So let's have a little look at the history, a little chat about the history of Coronation Chicken. So it was created for the 1953 coronation banquet of Queen Elizabeth II. And it was created by Constance Spry and Rosemary Hume.
I know Constance Spry from cookbooks.
Yeah, she was a
cookbooks.
food writer,
Yeah.
and Rosemary was a chef. And basically, it's cooked chicken, cooked in a certain way.
Well, the original is it's cooked from scratch, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, the original is a sort of haute cuisine.
Yeah.
Invention, cordon bleu or whatever you like to call it, a sort of really complex way of cooking the chicken.
It calls for red wine reductions and things like that.
All sorts of stuff. Coronation Chicken kind of came from Poulet Reine Elizabeth.
Yeah.
So it came from that. So common or garden people like us could cook it, and basically it's cooked chicken. Make it. It's cooked chicken in a creamy curry sauce.
Yeah.
Basically served cold.
Yeah, and the creaminess comes mainly from mayonnaise, or historically over the decades it's come from mayonnaise.
And as we said before, it was served cold with a salad, with rice, or as a sandwich filling. We've had it in a wrap, the version we do, but perhaps it was inspired by Jubilee chicken, which was a similar dish, thought to have been prepared for the Silver Jubilee of George V.
Oh right, so
in
quite way back.
1935.
Yeah.
Perhaps, it can't be verified. Another version of Jubilee chicken was served at the Queen's Golden Jubilee in 2002. This was a lighter version with lime, and apparently it wasn't as well received as Coronation Chicken.
I think there was a lot of influence from the Commonwealth in this. They were trying to sort of, bring the Commonwealth back together, because there'd been an awful lot of talk about them becoming much more independent. And I think lime and things like that brought those nations together.
There was another version done, Diamond Jubilee Chicken in 2012 by Heston Blumenthal, which was a spin on Coronation Chicken. Yeah. But, as we said earlier, very popular when we were kids. Somebody was always making Coronation Chicken. I don't know whether it was my favourite thing.
Oh, I really liked it.
And I have to be honest, Coronation beans isn't my favourite thing. But I do enjoy it, but it's not something I want to eat all of the time.
But as I say to Richard, he can't have his favourite things all of the time. So he has to have some things that aren't his favourite, that he still likes.
And of course, as vegetarians, it's a really good way of getting your protein. And actually, I prefer it with a rice salad.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's basically like a cold curry, which sounds to some people disgusting. But actually, it's very tasty.
Yeah.
Mildly spicy. And ideal if you're craving a curry or a spicy dish on a very hot day.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think it's time really to get into the kitchen and put together this dish, Paul, because it's your gig again.
Yeah, and it is
we
just
plunged into darkness.
It is just a matter of putting it all together, because most of it comes from the store cupboard or a jar. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get in the kitchen. So we're in the kitchen, and apologies about the changing light levels. The clouds are out today, blocking the sun occasionally, but hey, we'll manage. So we're in the kitchen with Paul, and we've got the ingredients. Would you like to talk us through the ingredients, Paul?
So we've got a can of butter beans, which have been drained, half a lemon, some mayonnaise, mango chutney and yoghurt. And then we've got some spices in here. We've got some curry spice, some turmeric and some cinnamon. And then in here, there's some raisins and chopped up apricots. If you want to use sultanas, that is what I would normally do. So use sultanas. You can use most dried fruit. And then some almonds, flaked almonds.
Great. So what's the first thing we need to do, Paul?
I'm just going to mash about half of these with a fork. Just mix it all together.
I also apologise for the plane noise. We're getting lots of planes flying overhead at the moment.
And then in with the spices.
So that's the dried fruit going in.
Lemon juice. Almonds. Then in with some mayonnaise. As you can see, I'm sort of doing rough measures on here. Mix it all together. You can see the mayonnaise is starting to take on the colour of the turmeric and the curry powder. Some mango chutney. It's good to mix it all in at the different stages to make sure that everything is well distributed.
And I guess you could also vary the amount of yoghurt and mayonnaise depending on the thickness that you would like.
Absolutely, yeah. I like to use a little bit of yoghurt because it adds a tartness.
And I think also if you are using it as a sandwich filling, you might want to have the mixture a little stiffer.
Yeah. There we are.
And that's it.
That's it.
Coronation beans. Lovely. So today we're having them on toast. And here we are, it's lunchtime. Lunchtime. You could garnish this with parsley. We sometimes have it with rocket.
We do regularly, but I forgot to get rocket this morning when I was at the allotment.
So we're just having them plain. It's really lovely with the lemon.
Yeah.
They're really tangy, not too spicy.
And you'll notice that we use no salt in this because
Don't need it.
there's salt in the mango chutney, in the mayonnaise, and also you're then adding lemon, which lifts the flavours as well.
And the fruit, you get little bursts of sweetness.
As Richard said, if you want it to be a bit thicker, then cut back a bit on the mayo, cut back a little bit on the curry powder, and cut back a little bit on the yoghurt. Some people do make it completely with mayonnaise, but I think the yoghurt gives it a little bit of sharpness to it, which I think helps, because it's quite rich with the mango chutney in there, and the mayo, of course.
Anyway, we're going to get on and eat. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. See you very soon.